I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is another Patreon request for Felix. Thank you so much. If anyone's ever interested in requesting pretty much any type of video, review, movie topic, whatever, you just send the request directly to my PayPal or join me on my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, Final Destination 3, this is when, I mean, there are worse movies and there are worse movies in this franchise, but really enjoying the first two. This is where I felt the diminishing returns. Maybe the formula was getting a bit old. Granted, you still get some creative deaths, which is the main reason why people went to these films, and I can understand that, but I guess even within the story or within the, I know that's will come up. Well, what about Friday the 13th? What about Nightmare on Elm Street? I don't know, maybe because I just expect more, because so many years pass in between, which would be so many years of other movies that have come out, other franchises that were made and were born and died, and I still think they could be do a bit more with the story. Maybe have adrenaline junkies that purposely cheat death as the sick thrill, and you have this adrenaline junkies, sick assholes, or maybe these people that try to find innocent people, cheat them out of death for a sick pleasure of torturing them. Like, you're going to almost die. Nope, we're going to save you. Oh, you don't almost die now. We're going to save you. Maybe that's a silly idea, but I mean, or I talked about when I reviewed the first film, like one person, guy or girl, who is doing it's like a survival story, and they're in the woods or they're in the house or whatever, but their daily basis of all the things they have to do to survive death and be like this survival story. I mean, we got to this, and then 4, and then 5. I guess I wish they would have, it wasn't so much of a repeat. Some people are fine with that. To me, this is when it started, where it's like, okay, I've seen this all before. The death scenes are getting a bit more laughable. The roller coaster scene, I never cared for. I think because after the second one, which I still think is the best opening of all the Final Destinations, the director just made an insane car crash, highway massacre, trees going into people, huge fucking tree limb, the explosions, guy on motorcycle falls off, gets crushed by. I was just really impressed by the opening of the second one. And then the roller coaster, I thought it was a lot of CGI, a lot of it looked fake, a lot of it looked cartoonish. Maybe I'm getting tired of the formula, but just a lot of this CGI on the roller coaster isn't the best. Maybe because I don't go on a lot of roller coasters, so I don't have that fear of roller coasters like other people do. Planes, I can understand. Highway, absolutely. Roller coasters, I haven't been on a roller coaster for at least 20 years. So maybe I'm not the right guy for that. And it's just how CGI got it did more and more laughable. I know the others had CGI, I understand it, but this one I thought really amped it up to me in a bad way. And yeah, the death scenes are creative. I'll give you that. The death scenes are creative. I mean, when they're at like a drive-through or whatever, they got out of the way, and then one car hits another, and somehow the fucking motor jumps out and kills. The motor goes into the back of a guy's head. It's an interesting death. I'll give you that. One woman gets her face fucking nailed gun to death. That pretty damn good death scene, to be honest. But the one guy with the weights, and you think it's gonna be the swords, yeah baby, yeah, and the weights fall down and squish his head like a fucking zit. Popped. And I just went but I think that's the, and then I sit there and go, well, is that the reaction they want? I have to assume that is the reaction they want. Maybe that, oh shit, but then people laughing. You have the suntan machine where a girl gets boiled to death. I guess when I got to this, like, James Wong came back to direct. I just didn't feel the atmosphere that he brought to the first one. In the roller coaster, other people were really into that sequence. I was not. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is the lead here. And I don't know. I didn't really care about the characters in this. I would still say Devon Sawa is the best lead so far in these movies. The characters in the second one I could deal with for who they were, but you know, they weren't great, to be honest, but some of them were fun. Like the drug dealer, the druggy type of guy in the second one. Here, I can't really say they were bad, but at the same time I didn't care. And then you get to the ending, which is the first of these endings. Because at least in some of the other Final Destinations, some people survived. And I don't remember, I think they referenced the characters in the second film. Like some newspaper, some internet article, I believe, and that they die. See, that's when I'm okay, right? You don't do this again. We just kill off the other characters off screen like you did with Devon Sawa in the part 2. Like, you don't do that again, really. Okay, so you're really making these films pointless of a story to watch, because no matter what these characters do, it's going to end the same way. They don't try to cheat death, but no one ever cheats death. At least with Elm Street 4, Alice did live. So yeah, it sucks that the Dream Warriors died. I don't think they needed to die, and I don't think they should have died that quickly. I really liked Alice, but at least she didn't just get killed off willy-nilly. At least they didn't throw her away. At least she's one of the few people that survived that franchise. And it's my favorite character. So I think that's why Elm Street 4 is one of those sequels that does certain things, but I could give it more of a pass. For me, this Final Destination 2, I hate that they killed out Devon Sawa, but I was having a lot of fun. But then they do it again where they kill off the characters in part 2, so I'm like, well, fuck. You didn't have to kill off these characters. You just say they were in hiding. You just say we don't know what happened. That's what you do. We don't know what happened to them. And they're still off surviving. And then maybe if they want to come back for another sequel, then you have the option. But I guess they wanted to be more of a standalone. And then by the end of the film, everyone dies because a train, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead has a vision of a train crash, and then it's about to happen. So they're all dead. And that's when you got to, no one is surviving. Technically, no one has survived because we kill them off in the next movie. No, within that same movie, everyone will die. And I don't know, that's just a formula I'm not a fan of. Because you know that no matter what they do, no matter what they're talking about, no matter how they keep talking about how this is a way to cheat death and we could do this, you're like, it doesn't fucking matter. So all this talk is useless. It's just going to end the same way because they want to do more sequels. Or prequels, like the next one was. So maybe that's the thing, is that some of the deaths just was more laughable. The carnival where the guy, the thing falls on the guy and like a part of his body like popped off and is over here. And again, I keep thinking of the gym death. Just fucking like, what the fuck, really? And there are some recognizable people in this. I believe the guy who got killed in the gym, I believe he's the same actor who's one of our leads in Wrong Turn 2. And actually one of the people that survived Wrong Turn 2. And then the guy who his girl gets killed with a nail gun, and then he's pissed off about it, of course, blames our lead characters, and then he gets killed by the thing, the fireworks go past him, and then I believe that guy, he was one of the stars in a couple found footage films I saw. They're Watching, which I did enjoy, and The Frankenstein Theory, which I didn't enjoy. Of course, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she would go on to be John McClane's daughter in Live Free or Die Hard. She would be in the Thing prequel. And yeah, I'd rather watch this than the Thing prequel. Wow. What a big fucking... You want a cookie for that. You want a Snickers bar up your ass for that movie. And it's not the worst. Because Mary Elizabeth Winstead, to be fair, she wasn't bad acting in the movie, to be fair. I didn't really care about the character one way or another, but she wasn't bad in her acting, I thought, compared to the next couple, which I can't remember a damn thing about them. Actors-wise, character-wise, personality-wise. Here, fatigue. Formula fatigue on it. Maybe that was the issue. Formula fatigue, felt like I've been there, done that. Really nothing was brought new or interesting or creative. Some of the death scenes are creative, but storyline, you repeat it once, okay, but now, well, you like Friday the 13th Part 3, it was the same movie. That was the 80s. Times are changing. And hell, that was different from Part 1. Part 1 was an old mama killing people in a mystery POV we don't see. Part 3 was a guy in a hockey mask. That felt more different than from the first one to the third one of this. That's just me. But yeah, Final Destination 3, it's not a raging rant. It's just one of those, I just lost the zest and fun that I got in the first two. But that's just me. So with that said, Final Destination 3, those are my thoughts on it. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.